Good morning. Yes, it's 11:36 on May 1st today. Happy Beltane today. I have been I have some good stories about Beltane if you want to hear that. Or at least one. I have some really good like Beltane stories about me and my friends who practice accordingly. But yesterday, April 30th, was actually like my dad's birthday. I was gonna say like when he was living, obviously, and like I guess for like forever, like. But oh, if you listen to my music and it's not on the short list of like greatest hits of like the stuff that I posted, I'm not certain if I actually posted this song. There's a song called Cruel, right? And it's in Spanish. And the beginning of it, it's actually like uh okay, well, I know I talk about like okay, well here's the deal about why I talk about my friend Nick, right? Because Arnold. Hello, Arnold. Arnold's like a girly man. We're gonna pump you up. Anyway, so the song, so the song "Cruel" I wrote on April 30th because it was like one of these. It was like in 2022, and I guess like we had just found like this kind of like a narrow, cool like table and thing because we found stuff on the curb and everything. Like these are just the stories of my life. The stories of my life, like it was like the worst time because of all like the drug addiction stuff that was happening in my house, but it wasn't as much like me doing some of the drugs as like seeing people that I love like extremely like addicted to like things that were just like killing them and like they just like looked horrible, but then like people started to get better. So I'm just pushing the button on this thing. Thank you for listening to me. That's something that I used to say to like people if they people are so obnoxious. I did used to go online. I did meet my friend Nick on Plenty of Fish. I know that people listen to my music and stuff. People are so obnoxious. Oh man, where do I start? What do I want to? Okay, well, what was I originally talking about? Oh, the song "Cruel," and then I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like dinking on the Veloco app, and I had something of Nick's like banjo stuff, and I accidentally like spliced it on top of. And it sounds like kind of dissonant and weird, and it's kind of cool. And I sang the song in Spanish, and it was imperfect Spanish, but it was how I was feeling. Because that day I had to make a decision on like, am I going to? Because I called my probation officer, Crystal, who no longer is a probation officer. She was one of the greatest people I ever met. Most people would say that about her. She was no longer a probation officer anymore. I didn't know that, but I called her old number because way back in like the end of 2020 or like the beginning of 2021, I had asked for help several times without trying to call like the police directly because my friends were really sick. Like they were shooting up dope and stuff like that. Like they would usually leave my house to shoot up and stuff, but then like people started coming over. I didn't want them to shoot up, but like they would sneakily like that's why just like the Hawk Bowl back in the day, like in Whitewater, my bathroom lock has no lock on it anymore because like if anybody's in there for more than 15 minutes or whatever, just like I was telling the story yesterday about like how like Nick brought that girl over and like she was in the bathroom like and it's just like and then came out completely like twacked, on cocaine, I'm sure, and it's just like my friends would be in there and it's like, okay, you've been in there for like, 42 minutes, like, and then finally, like, I just took the lock off the door, or somebody took the lock off the door. So now that's like, there's not locks in my house anymore. So that day, I called like Crystal Mesra. That was her name. A fucking amazing human she is. And I said, listen, there are people in my house and they're using drugs, and I don't want to call the police directly because she's not a police officer. She's just an agent for your probation officer. I found this out is not actually a police officer. They're like a person with education that's like certified, but they're not an actual police officer. So I'm like, can you please talk to me and work with me? And I'm not trying, this is the thing, I'm not trying to get my friends arrested. I'm trying to get them help. I'm not really trying to lead like the crystal meth fucking lifestyle. Do you know what I mean? So no one would help me. No one could help me. There is this thing that is like, I guess do it yourself is a thing. It was that day that I was just like, okay, he did something or said something that I was just like, I don't know if I was concerned about him or if I was more like pissed off. Is this going to get into the thing about like Beltane the next day? Do I have to tell that story right now? About how my friend Nick has so much game, like when he wants to. Anyway, we all want to hear that story. Okay, well I'll let you know. It's a sweet story. Why? Because like we like love each other, so that was like really cool. But I had to decide. He had done something that really pissed me off. Oh, but I know he did get his dog Blue, who is also my daughter, Blue. I'm the real mom of Blue. Like a fucking, she's a pit bull, but she's like a sweet little pit bull. She has killed a couple dogs because she has a problem with female dogs. He got her, and I felt like I was kind of being incarcerated in my own home for the longest time, but working with my friends, even though it doesn't seem like I was working with my friends, but that's all I do though. All I do as like my regular life or like my everyday life is honestly like counteract like fucking other people's invasive witchcraft and like calm them the fuck down. And it's like, I didn't know, like, I guess that's like what I do, right? And also, give my friends a safe place to land. But he had bought Blue, and I was very angry because it's just like, it was my own love. And yes, there was like magic spells that were involved with him and me specifically. There's always these people do magic spells when like they fucking like don't understand the kind of person that I am, that the only thing that would ever keep me with you like for eternity or like infinity at that fucking time would be my own love for you. No matter what magic spell you would do, and especially now since it's going to be eternity here shortly for me because I'm being held back or like whatever, but like who cares because it's like almost fucking over for some of us here, hopefully. It's going to be eternity here pretty soon, but no, just know like why would you even like do some kind of like, first of all, you have to be a greedy fucker. I appreciate like that you love me that much, but like the only thing that would ever keep me with anyone except for like, some kind of compliance that has to deal with contractual like bindings of like people that deserve to like be together and like I'm an integral part of their fucking existence. That and also my love for you, like my true love for you that like will keep me with you even if you're a miserable piece of shit to me every fucking day and like you tell me that like I stink and like which means you smell so good. You stink, which means like I fucking like can't get enough of how you smell. Oh, this is going to be a love letter for Beltane, isn't it? Lovely. Good. This is kind of funny because I guess here's the deal. Like, first of all, that kind of magic here, like, if you made it to eternity, is not going to take the way that it did back in infinity because there isn't, like, the echo. Green as a gecko. There isn't the echo and, like, the fucking bullshit and the fleshiness of, like fucking back in infinity was that kind of magic. Not only do we have like people like me and like all of the higher ups like fucking watching little fucking creeps like you being like, okay, they think they're good, like today, like and like maybe you are good, but like fucking seriously though, Oh my God. Well, there's a female. There's a female in Nick's life, all right? This is what's going on. Simon's memorial for 5 years ago, since he's been dead, will be May 11th. Simon died on May 11th, 2021, and he is Nick's real feline child. Well, the other one's also his feline child, and his son. Oh, and his father. But as for Simon, we should celebrate this year. I'm just gonna like put that out there. But yes, no, there is a female in Nick's life, and like her existence is like that Nick is her boyfriend. She's like, Nick's my boyfriend. And I hate that. Like I don't hate that. It's like, but that's the thing though. So I started talking to her friend passed away from a drug overdose, and I never had a chance to meet her. I've heard good things about her. I'm friends with her brother. All right. I started talking to her friend's mother because if you know Jaeger, it's like, it's Jaeger's mom, Eve, right? So I just called her on my land, or she called me. She was the first person that I ever answered on my landline phone, which is the original reason why I was making this video, was talking about, I hope I'm recording. Okay. My landline phone, and like the few phone calls that I got today. She's very like psychically this female that like, Nick is my boyfriend. She got Nick, okay? All right. And it's a situation where everything is just like a severe Nick is my boyfriend. Everyone. It's that kind of a thing. So her only reason for living, and like her identity, and the reason that like she has any kind of fucking like thing in the physical world of her being successful, is that Nick is her boyfriend. Why though? So I've asked several times. I'm like, okay, Nick, bring her over. I've got several mats now, not just one. Like, bring her over anytime, and I would love to like do yoga with her. It seems like she could be someone that could benefit from the mat. She will not come over. Why? There will not be a door on the room here pretty soon. This isn't a thing like making fun of like somebody that like will not like come over. Okay, so people do this thing where they take my mind, and this is like it's kind of like the fucking thing of like the most narcissistic, like people that, yes, you can do that. The bailiff at the jail did that to me when they still had a bailiff. Oh my God, how many stories am I going to tell today? Because I had my consecrated sword thing with me. It was, oh God, how many stories do you want me to tell? So I had a consecrated like King Richard III sword thing, all right? Oh my God. Yes, I like to tell. Can I tell all these stories in one story, though? Like, yeah, I kind of can do that if you guys like to hear that. But no, and then my Sunday school kids, like, after I had left, they tried. One of the first, I guess, basic things that people do if they try to do evil shit because, like, they're so narcissistic and, like, fucking ignorant is try to, like, make you have, like, a slight, like, memory loss. So that's what happened today when I was going to. So there's a female, or there's a woman that works for the Democratic Party, and her name is Joyce Boss, all right? And she writes letters like I do. And I got like a postcard in the mail, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I was trying to just get Eve a little something. So I found like a $3 bracelet, something around $3, like something cute. So I had sent her some underpants and some bras and stuff, like thinking that she was like really itty bitty tiny thing, because like she doesn't look like she's like a bigger person. Well, she's not a bigger person. But she called me on my phone, let me know that stuff didn't fit, but I gave her that pink hat and like some earrings and stuff. So, this female, with like taking my mind, it's like, don't you talk to Eve, like that kind of a fucking thing. And I'm like, okay, well, if she was your best friend who passed away's mom, she's mine. I'm like, okay. And I'm like forgetting, like, where did I have Eve's address, you know? Because I looked at all my, like, my other little. And I'm like, okay, well, this will pass because it always does. Because, like, every kind of evil, dark magic thing has an expiration date. Especially in eternity and not like in infinity. Like, it's just bullshit for fucking lifetimes. In eternity, it's not like that, though. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, so I found the postcard that Joyce Boss, B-O-S, wrote to me, like, and she's obviously with the Democratic Party because, like, something that she wrote was about, like, you know, uphold female rights and stuff. I do have the right to change the law or help people change the law or revert back to the original law, you know, and stuff like that. So I just wanted to write her a thank you note. I sent her that little, like, bracelet or whatever and say, like, thank you so much for being one of the pioneers that still writes handwritten letters, like, to people like me that, you know, that means something to me. I'm just writing you a handwritten letter to let you know that, like, that means something to me, regardless of your political party. Thank you so much. And I haven't gotten around to writing the letter yet, but that's what it is. This whole thing came about because of the thing with, like, and this female that my friend Nick is with, like, tried to, like, do, like, I had to bind her, like, with the weed spell, like, you're supposed to take a stick or whatever. I was going to do another video for, like, Tamika Williams or whatever, who does, like, AEL 111, like, Eternal Love Tarot, because she's having problems with, like, you know, someone that's, like, in her energy, that's just, like, she has it's like, okay, are we going to teach people the proper way to do, like, witchcraft? Obviously, because you can't, like, make people do things. You can't make people do things. Like, you know, it's like, I'm going to make you do things. I'm going to make you do things. Here's 400 candles. I'm going to make you do things. I'm a witch and I'm going to make you do things. Okay. All right. Well. So that's like what, like, fucking. So I'm like, okay, so this obnoxious fucking little cunt, like, is fucking like, no, you can't talk to her. Nick is my boyfriend. Don't you dare talk to her. In my mind, right? So I'm like, okay, as soon as I fucking take Eve's name out of this thing on Amazon and put this lovely female, like, you know, activist Joyce Boss to give her the bracelet, I'm gonna be like, okay, so now, because I completely, like, couldn't remember where Eve's address was. Okay, now where is Eve's address now that I put this other female's, like, name in here? It's in your, you know, your Dell notebook that isn't a computer, but it's like, you know, a handwritten thing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, right. But as for this female, though, she is gay. She's a full-blown lesbian. And she did magic spell work on me where my pussy's dry. Laura's pussy's dry. So I was finding, like, my pussy was dry and it itched and it smelled and it was kind of, didn't stink, but it smelled weird on me. She did magic on me, like, I'm gonna have a wet pussy like Laura. I'm gonna have, like, you know, my pussy, and it's kind of like a cry for help, like, my pussy stinks and my pussy itches and I'm always dry. And it's like so it's like, I'm not, okay, so I'm teasing her. But the thing is, though, it was very invasive magic that lasted for several months and I have to work with it. And so, like, you know, so maybe for, like, maybe a little while, her pussy was kind of wet and her pussy didn't itch and stuff. But I'd have to, then, like, for 2 months, my ear was clogged. And I'm like, oh, this has got to go away. But it's like making me sore. And you're like, can people do that? yes, people can do that if they fucking are like fucking like mentally ill and like they don't understand. Like some people are like, like on Ray Buckland's like second page of his, complete book of witchcraft book. Ain't it harm none, do it thou wilt, which means like if it pains anyone, don't do it. But like, and then there's like, like the Crowleys and stuff that say, no, like do what thou wilt is the whole of the law. But then you have the repercussions of that when you're like, I'm going to make you do things. I guess if you don't change your ways, right? So, ownership. What is this ownership thing? Well, the whole point is, though, what is the point of this? Should I tell the Beltane story? I mean, I could tell. I'm like, I almost don't want to do that because, like, I'm already like fucking. I don't want to. I will tell the Beltane story maybe when my friend is here because it's like such a cool, sweet story. But like, I think some people are just like, are you guys like, who's doing magic on me now? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to be okay? I don't know. I can't tell what the future is. I don't know what the future is going to be. There's only a rough outline of what the future kind of can be. What is the truth about this situation, though? I am not going to take it anymore. The one thing that Nick suggested to me the whole time that I was living with him, and like these are the things that I figured out, were like, I'm always like, hey, he's like, I don't like it when girls drink and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I'll quit drinking today. And I did. He always said to me, like, I don't like you on your pills. I barely took my pills most of the time because people stole my pills and sold them. And I was aware sometimes that they were selling my pills. They wouldn't let me keep my own pills. They would take my pills from me before I could even take a bunch of pills. And even if I had pills, like because people took them all the time, maybe I'd do Xanax for like 2 days out of my prescription because they'd be fucking gone. They would find them no matter where I would hide them and things like that. So, why? He didn't want me on my pills and stuff. And I'm still hearing the... Okay, so if there's I'm a star because Nick is my boyfriend. That's what's going on. I'm a star because Nick is my boyfriend. And it's sad. I'm not making fun of her. I'm like, will you bring her over sometime? And the answer is no, he will not. So I'm feeling kind of weird. What kind of magic are people doing on me now? I feel like somebody's scared. But this thing with my ear, I went into like after 2 months and I'm like, because she's doing sex magic on me, like this female of Nick's, I guess. She's doing sex magic on me to the point where I had to go to the doctor. And I had a plug of like this thick of earwax. And when the doctor put the thing in there, she's like, oh my God, there's layer after layer after layer of wax in your ear. It's noon. She's like, there's so many layers of wax in your ear. And she's like, it's like this thick of a plug. So, I mean, so it went to the point where I had to go to the doctor. I have to go to the doctor. Laura has to go. I don't have to go to the doctor. Laura has to go to the doctor, right? I don't have to go to the doctor because my pussy itches and it stinks and like, yet I'm sore and like, I'm dry and I'm never wet. Like, Laura has to go to the doctor. I don't have to go to the doctor. And like, I'm going to give Laura layers. I'm going to peel Laura's ear. Like, what the fuck? So That's only going to be able to last for so long, though. Oh, with all of this witchcraft and all of these fucking people having orgies and fucking needing the black leeches like removed from their fucking. Oh, yeah, actually, like that's not where it's at. Like that's not like actually the magic that's healing and fun. I mean, you think it's fun, but it's just like oh, oh. Okay, so like the sorry, 25 minutes like into the thing. So I'm just bitching about this girl, but here's the deal though. If like in my mind cuz she's in my energy, you know, it's just like a and she's like a toddler that looks like a woman, okay? If you don't want if you fucking love like, you know, my friend Eve so much, why don't you get on the phone and call her? That's what I'm wondering. Why don't you get on the phone and call her if you miss your friend? Do you know? Like, if your pussy itches, and I mean, I'm sure she doesn't watch or anything. Like, it's just like fucking, So, like, what I'm wondering though, don't trade a good friend in for someone that, like, fucking, unless it's like the whole quest of, like, well, I'm gonna try to get her off of all of her pills. Like, when did I go off of my pills though? When I was left the fuck alone. Like when I had like some clarity, I'm like, well, you know, there's nobody here stealing my pills from me. And actually, there's more than likely, well, I wanted to get pregnant back then. And I slowed down when I was still living with my friend. I stopped taking my pills because love was making me want to stop doing my pills. Not force, but like fucking, oh, I want to have a baby possibly. Like love was making me stop taking my pills. So beware of, I guess, black magic. Deal with it the best way that you can. It's because people are immature. They think that like karmic laws don't apply to them, and that like I guess that is a way to do magic, like fucking, but like, why would you want to make someone? She wanted to make sure that I felt, she wants to know that someone feels how she feels, and she feels like she's dry and she itches and she doesn't like the way she smells, okay? She feels that way and she wants me to physically feel that way. That is, I don't even, see, here's the deal about me. I won't read a book on how to do that, and maybe I should, like, even if I don't want to do that. It's like, how do you do that kind of magic? I wouldn't want to. So like, and then like, so am I ignorant? Am I the ignorant one? No, I'm just the one that gets consistently attacked by people that think that kind of magic is appropriate. So I mean, I can't really even be like, I can't even really talk about, you know, like the lady that like was very invasive, and it's always like sex magic. I guess I'm like the mediator middleman guy with people and their sex magic, and she's in my mind, and she's in my mind. It's like I like, if you're in my mind so much, like why won't you come over and speak with me then? Because then what? Because she's gay. And she's very promiscuous. Like, no matter how many males you have sex with as a lesbian, this is like, it's not going to make you less gay, you know? It's just like, but as long as she has, you know, a star that's her boyfriend, as long as she has a star that is her boyfriend, you know, it's like, then people will see that she's successful. And it's like, that is a problem. there's no one that she needs to talk to besides Eve Yeager, right? Like, it would be good for her to talk to her. I'm not here to be her enemy. Any of these girls, like, most of the time, like, it's confusion. She's kind of holding, I guess, my friend hostage in a way. I think definitely with like the why and the, and also, I mean, I guess it feels kind of good to have someone want to cling to you and you're the center of their world. And like, the only time she smiles is like, I'm sure if he looks at her, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like, he is a star. He just has that energy. He has the, I drank fucking water and like I fucking, he has the, he has the water and light, the rainbow energy. He has the, we are crew energy. She was supposed to be that way, but she was too greedy. She chose greed. She chose greed and she just can't, because she chose greed with him by her all the time, right? During that time, I'm sure nudging her along and hinting her like I did with all these people that I worked with and stuff that just fucking like didn't want to comply, right? She chose greed. So hopefully my friend's unstuck soon. I started a few other stories here. I guess I can tell you this about people taking my mind about like and that bailiff, like honestly he got fired like not shortly after that. Wow. Listen, I mean no harm to anyone. When I'm saying these things about this girl, does she not want to see me or does like my friend not want to bring her here because there's like the factor of like he's embarrassed? Like that's what I'm wondering. And to everybody that's embarrassed, like, you know, like, okay, well, I'm actually pretty laid back. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Meanwhile, no one talks to Laura, kind of, except for, like, you know, and that's what originally I was going to, like, make this video about the phone calls that I've gotten. So, no, this is not a hater. It's just like, I'm already at 32 minutes. Did I even tell a story? Did I tell a story right now?